Hi everybody, welcome back. I'm Kirsty Meakin, if you didn't know. Hopefully you did know. And that's why you're here. Hopefully. So today we have my friend and I want to say, it's more than a friendship, this is, isn't it, Morgan?
It is.
It's a little bit of a business relationship as well, because Morgan has got her own clothing line, and it's like, those of you that follow me on Instagram and everything like that, you will have seen that I am clearly spending all my money in Morgan's shop because I just buy all my clothes from there because I like them. And a lot of people ask me about my clothes and stuff like that. So what did we do? We've decided we're going to do a Kirsty Meakin range. I'm excited. So we've got a Kirsty Meakin by Morgan range coming out. So what do we need to go with that to finish the looks off? Well, we need nails, don't we? So we're going to use the inspiration from my collection for the nail designs today. So let's get cracking. So I have already sculpted out some nails, but we're going to sculpt out this one just for you on camera to show everybody. We're going to be using my sculpting forms, because they are the best. Take out the centre tab, pop it on the back. We're going to take off this extra length because Morgan doesn't want nails the size of Faye's. It's very disappointing. No, but you know, these are long for you.
These are long for me.
Yeah, they're long for you because you did have your natural nails.
Kirst, my natural nails
Yeah.
were as long as acrylics until I got here this morning and she snipped them all off.
Okay, bye. Yeah, so the other day Morgan was like, these are my own nails, you know, they're my own nails. And I was like, yeah, but are they though? Yes, it's your own nail underneath, but you've got like gel on top, you've got to build a gel on top. So are they really yours?
Yes, Kirst, they were.
Yeah.
They were, but they're not anymore.
No, they're gone.
They're in the bin.
Yes. Sure. Yeah, so there's a thing, isn't there? Everybody loves growing their own nails under product, which I totally get, and people just love it. But I'm like, but would they be that long without the product? No.
No, they wouldn't.
I'm just going to snip off these ears a little bit, just because Morgan's got little tiny fingers. She's a tiny person. She's only like...
The same height as you, hon.
Yeah.
We're both tiny people.
We are. Do you know what? Good things come in small packages. You know, we are like diamonds. So, sculpting form's fitting nice underneath the natural nail. I'm going to check if this is straight. So I'm going to turn the hand over so I can get a better view as well. Yeah, it looks pretty straight to me, because I looked at it and I thought it looks a bit wonky, but then as I look at it like that, it looks really straight. Let me just go tiny bit that way. Let me look. I'm happy.
She's happy.
Not very often that
I was
way.
going to say, that's unusual.
You are quite hard to satisfy, aren't you, Kirst?
Yeah.
So with working on this collection, you know, you've had me running round, haven't you?
Yes,
Yeah.
I have. I've been like, no, and then I've seen something and it's got me really excited. There was one particular item that I must have, sorry, I'm just using clean-up solution just to
What kind of clean-up solution is that?
clean that nail. That is our amazing, because it's a clean-up solution, but it also dehydrates the nail as well. I'm going to use the acid-free primer, from Jellica, because we're going to use the Jellica acrylic system today. Yeah, so there was this one particular piece from the collection that I was like, don't forget about that.
I almost wanted to forget about it, but you didn't, did you, Kirst?
No, it's in the collection.
It's in.
It started off, how many pieces were we originally going to put in this collection?
I think we were looking at around about 8 outfits, and I think we've ended up with a total of 18. So, you can imagine what Kirst has been like.
Yeah.
18!
But do you know what? To be fair, we've covered it all, haven't we?
Yeah, literally, you could just buy the entire
So this
range.
is-
You could have a capsule wardrobe.
So is this for like, is this just one, like, is it summer? Do you have to do a winter one now?
Well,
Or is it
I
all
think
year
so.
round?
I think this
I
is
haven't got
spring.
18 pieces of clothing.
You don't own 18 pieces of clothing?
How often what do you see me in?
Well, I know, yeah.
Jeans,
You must have
t-shirt.
18 t-shirts.
No.
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 God, get shop, Duck.
Get down the boutique, Duck, shop the range. So yeah, it's very, I'd say it's spring, summer, but a lot of the looks, obviously, you've got your glam going out, haven't you? Because you like a bit of glam.
Yeah.
But then a lot of it's like day to night. I like stuff like that.
Yeah,
I know
it
you
is.
do as well.
Yeah.
Things we can wear in the day, but then we can dress it up.
Definitely. There's a lot of that going on.
There's a lot of staple pieces.
And a lot of it can be taken into winter. You know, there are some items that you can take into winter. It's about how you wear it and what you team it up with, I think.
But obviously when we shoot it, we will give it the Kirsty Meakin style and sparkle.
Of course, definitely. So I'll pop this bead straight on, and you'll notice that I popped it on around about here, sort of towards the half the length of the natural nail, and that's because we're working the length, we're making contact with the sculpting form and concentrating on the length first and those side walls. So if I started at the cuticle first and started to work down, that product would set pretty quick. Anything that's sat on the natural nail will set up faster than whatever's on the sculpting form because it has no heat. So the finger has heat and will activate the polymerization of the product. So my second bead will then be for cuticle area, and we can look at the apex, and you'll notice I am tipping the finger down. I'm going to slide this product over the acrylic that we've already applied, connecting them together, and then you'll see that we create the apex by doing that, and now lifting the finger because I don't want gravity to pull it any further. So if you check that side view, we have an apex, side wall. So you want to concentrate on this when you're doing your nails. A lot of people kind of skip over this side wall business, as you know. Morgan was saying, "Oh my God, how did you describe it?"
So I've had acrylics before, but I've never had them sculpted.
Yeah.
And you've never done my nails, have you? This is the first time.
Yeah.
So Kirsty's pre-sculpted some already before we started recording, and I looked at my nails and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I've got a side nail." She was like, "What do you mean a side nail?" I said, "I've got a side nail, not just a front nail. A side nail as well."
A side nail. Yeah, that's a side wall, Duck.
Yeah.
So yeah, you've got a nice side wall look, and you know you've got a nice free edge. Got an apex. Do you know where the apex is, Morg? Do you know what an apex is?
I haven't got a clue.
You haven't got a clue. Wow, the nail needs an apex to give it its strength. A lot of people, especially if you rushed in salon, some salons only leave like an hour for an appointment, and you know, and the nail techs want to do a lot of work in that hour, and it's hard to do exactly what they want to do. Which I think, you know, quality over quantity always. You know, why would you work yourself to the bone doing 15 clients a day when you could do a lot less? You could halve that, charge more, they'll have quality nails, you'll be happier, clients will be happier. There you are. If they want cheap nails, they shouldn't come to you. So we're going to sculpt this out. We're going to use inspiration from a couple of the pieces because there's a bit of a theme.
Yeah.
Or shall we say obsession of mine, and it's not green. Yes, I'm obsessed with green. There is some green though. There is some.
We have to have a little bit of green.
Have to have a bit of green because you know it makes me happy. But yeah, I've got a bit of a thing for checkerboard. Love checkerboard. I think it's dead funky. Different colours. You can team it up with things. There's a few different items there with checkerboard. So yeah, I think maybe I just think I'm a Formula 1 racer and I'm just looking for the checkerboard flag all the time. But yeah, not won that race yet. Right, so I've got a file set up already that I've already used on Morgan. It's absolutely fine for me to still use it. It's one of our metal centerboard files with our replaceable papers. So this is your sandpaper, and inside here is a metal board, making it right firm. Right firmed up.
Firm?
It's right firm. So, side walls nice and straight. So, we were talking about the apex, weren't we? So, the apex is, see this little bit here, the highest point from the side. So, if you're new to the nail industry, I might be helping you too. So, the highest point from this side view, that is your apex. And it should always sit in the back third of the natural nail. Now, if you're doing nails and you're new to doing nails and maybe you aren't laying in enough of an apex, and you might be finding that your nails are breaking, you know, and it could just be simply down to not having enough apex in that area. Don't get me wrong, doesn't need to be a apex, but the longer the nail, the bigger the apex needs to be to carry the weight and carry that pressure from everyday life. Because it is a pressure, everyday life is.
Oh, it's a pressure.
Oh, it is. It's a stress. But if you surround yourself by good people, you know, good things happen. Those negative vibes, you just need to go.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye. Bye to those people.
We've just had a sculpting video go out live.
Yeah.
And somebody's put a comment here, I'll read it out. I know Kirsty doesn't always read her comments, but if you're reading this, Adam, can you tell Kirsty I'm so happy with how her career has progressed. And because of her, I enrolled on a level 3 nail technology course last Wednesday, as she is so inspirational. Watched her for years on channel.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to mention what they've just said about that channel.
Yeah.
Loving Kirsty's content now and product reviews. Also, when are the acrylic brushes coming out?
Oh, wow.
That's so nice.
That is so nice.
And that's what we mean about these nice people.
I know.
Anyway, Duck, when are your acrylic brushes coming out?
Well, they are on the way as far as I know. As soon as anything lands, and we get it out as soon as we can. So look out on my Instagram and everything like that. I always like to bang it on there. So keep your eyes peeled. So I'm going to buff this now. So I've got the 120 grit buffer. You can use the normal buffers, and I say normal buffers. This is like the normal buffer, so it's got a plastic centerboard, so it's more flexible. The plastic centerboard will be more flexible. This one is on our metal centerboard. You can see it's less flexible. But it's up to you. It's a bit of a personal preference, to be honest, which you prefer. So this is just going to smooth it all out, make it all nice, ready for the nail art. And we're going to do this checkerboard design, which I'm just obsessed with. Do you know what though? I have thought I want it on my nails, but doing it on this hand,
That'd be hard.
that would be quite difficult.
Yeah, that would be hard.
Might not look like a checkerboard. So,
No, it might not.
but we're going to do it a way that might help me do it. On my other hand, we'll see. There's going to be a few tricks. So let's see how it turns out. Now the art begins. What we need for this is, now you can do checkerboard completely freehand, and as you watch what I do, you'll understand. But what we're going to do is we're going to place down a guide. So I had this little idea. So we've got the Aeropuffing Kit. In the Aeropuffing Kit, there are many stickers. They all look like they're blank at the moment when you look at them, but they aren't, because they do have a design within them. She says as that one doesn't pop out. Come out. Come out. Come out. Come out, whatever you are. So you see, if I put my finger there, that one's like a little daisy. So they all have different designs on. This one is like a checkerboard. So what we're going to do is we're going to use that as our guide, but first of all, we're going to lay down a white background. So when this peels off, we'll have the white in the background, and we'll be able to put this directly over the top. and it's going to be a guide for us. So the hardest thing to do with checkerboard is to get all your squares the same size. It's a little bit tricky, but who cares if they're not? Right, so we're going to put on the base coat, and then we're going to use white out. So I'm just putting white out on. We're going to do 2 coats of this colour. Make sure that first layer is nice and thin. Put that in for me. Put that. Right, so what you need to do when you're using the Aeropuffing system is we need to put a matte top coat on this. Now, we do a matte top coat. The Aeropuffing, they do a matte top coat as well. It works much better on the matte top coat. So we're going to use that, and we'll need the black. I've got some sculpting paper, some backing paper from Sculpting Form. We'll need that as well. So we're going to go on with the matte. It's got no sticky layer, this hasn't. So because it's matte, it's like matte is more porous, so it'll grab out of the Aeropuffing products. It's like a gel paint. Pop that in. So if you look at this, it's really pigmented. I might need more than that. We'll see. But then what you do is you peel off, and then you'll see if any of them don't come away. I mean, to be honest, we probably won't use that one, but we'll pull it away. You can just pull it away. The smaller the designs, the more difficult they are, but you can just weave that out. So that's going to be our template. That one's still in, but I don't think we'll use that part anyway. So if you look at the little squares, I'm going to start with this one here, right at the bottom, and then we're going to go through the middle. So before you secure it down, you want to make sure that you're in line, make sure everything looks equal each side. So if you know that when you put the product on, it's going to touch the skin, there is the cuticle defender. So this paints on, and you're going to put 2 to 3 coats of it on, and it'll actually peel off. So you know you're not going to get it all over the finger.
Oh, that's good.
Mm-hmm. So because this curve here is a lot greater than what the sticker is, I'm literally just going to create a little bit of a slit just so it curves down. And this is just the guide. So if you've never done checkerboard and you're a bit, a bit scared of doing it, it's the perfect tool to use for that.
This is good for doing on your other hand, isn't it? You said if you were doing it yourself.
Yeah, definitely, it would definitely help me because it's going to give you the squares straight away. I just want to make sure it's stuck down as much as I can. So you want to try and eliminate any air bubbles around the squares. And then I am going to use the little tool. I do find this a little bit loose, so I have to squeeze the end a bit just to make it stay a bit more. And I'm just going to roll this onto a sculpting form. You could use a lid-free roller if you want. And can you see how it takes off all those little bits? Now you're going to take your little Dabba and push that into the black Aeropuffing paint to load it up, a bit like a makeup sponge. And tap, 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 dab, dab, dab. Now I know I'm just using this as a guide, so I know that I can neaten up anything, but I do think it's really useful as a guide. pop that in the lamp. So just like gel polish, you can do 2 coats. I mean, it looked pretty black, but I'll just give it a light coating of the black a little bit more. In you go. Then we're going to peel off. Look at that.
Look at
I said I wasn't going to touch her skin.
Touch the fake tan.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Come on. So, yes, it looks all right like it is, but they need joining together. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the Lily liner, and we're going to use Void, which is our black, which is like the blackest black you ever did see. Pull that Lily liner through. You know where you're going to put them because you're going to go in these spaces here, okay? Oh, my tummy says yeah. So your line is going to go through like that, yeah? We're just going to go over that again, make it slightly wider. Because you want these squares to connect to that line.
Oh, when we shoot the collection, Kirst, you've got to have a set, haven't you, to match?
I know, I'm going to have to do myself a set.
You're going to have to get checkerboard in.
I need some clean up solution, and I've got my Miko gel brush. Now before I make anything neater, I'm going to cure those, so pop them in the lamp, and then I might not touch them and mess it up. And then we're going to go the other way. So we can put one right on the edge there, which I think will really frame the nail as well. Oh yes.
Are you liking that?
I like that. And then we're going to come through this way. So I'm going to turn your hand to the side. Don't be afraid to move your client and put them exactly where you want them. Because you'll notice I missed 2 at the top because I didn't want to get the gel on Morgan's skin. So I can actually just fill them in a lot easier. And you'll notice as I start putting the lines in, it'll just turn into that checkerboard.
I'm not double jointed duck, you know.
Like I say, move your client.
Yeah,
to
don't
exactly
be
where you want them.
afraid to move your clients, girls.
Put them where you want them. Just going to do these side ones because the nail curves so much.
Is that a side nail, isn't it?
It's that side nail, it's got all that side nail, that's why. Can you see the difference though from adding the lines
Yeah.
and not adding the lines? So the next bit is these 2 squares here. They need to be black. So they are really close to that cuticle. So what I like to do is I'll grab the finger, but I'll slightly pull back on the skin, and it'll slightly pull the skin away from that cuticle, which just gives you a tiny bit more room to get in there. Now you can use the end of the Lily liner, or you can use, if you want an even smaller brush, you could use the Messy Nessie brush or the Cassidy Detailer. But I've got this one out, it's already loaded up with product, so it's just a little bit easier for me to use this brush. It is longer, but if you want more stability, then go for a shorter brush, which would be the Cassidy Detailer. Right, pop that in. I just need a tiny bit there because I feel like it needs it just to finish it. Pop it in. Okay, so now we want to top coat this. So I'm going to top coat it with our glossy top coat. And I'm top coating it before I do any other work on it because we are going to put something else on just because I want to seal everything in. And if I start to put other colours over the top of the black is so pigmented it could slightly affect the colour. So I prefer to seal that and then do the rest of the design. Pop it in. Right, so what we're going to do is, because I'm going to use some more gel polish, I'm literally going to skip over with my buffer. And then the gel polish will stick to it nicely. And I'm being very gentle. And what this will actually do as well, it'll smooth the nail because you can get a little bit of build-up of thickness with gel polish design. And that'll just reduce that down. Let's clean that up with the clean up solution. And then we're going to put a smiley on.
We love a smiley.
I love a smiley.
We do love a smiley.
So we're going to use Isaac. It's a gorgeous yellow, white out, first of all. And we only need one coat of this. We're going to use the palmy picker upper because we can use it like a pen and we can swirl it round and push it round into a circle. We kind of want it coming off to one side. Because in the range, the KIRSTY MEAKIN range,
not just any range.
Not just any range. The KIRSTY MEAKIN range. There are little elements of smileys.
Yes, there is.
Yeah, not like overly cheesy, not like big massive smileys.
No, they're trendy, quirky smileys, aren't they?
Yeah.
But I do feel like smileys have come into fashion, haven't they, lately? Anyway.
Yeah, definitely.
The printed motifs are everywhere, aren't they, lately? And we like smileys because we're happy people, aren't we, Kirst?
Yeah, happy people. Big enough, yeah, pop it in. So now we're going to go on with Isaac, which is our yellow. I mean, we have a few yellows.
Egg. You've just made a fried
Oh,
egg.
look at the egg! A fried egg!
Isaac does love fried eggs. You know, like the sweets.
Oh, the sweets!
Oh, I love them.
So the reason we put the white down is just to counteract the black that's behind. Right, black. We're going to go around the edge with black just to make it stand out. Using the Lily Liner brush again. Make it less egg-like. Pop it in. So we're going to do the smiley. There's loads of different ways of doing smileys, but we're going to do the exact smiley that's on the jeans.
The denim jeans.
On the jeans.
Now, these are gorgeous jeans, aren't they?
They are. They're so flattering. The shape of them is so nice.
And they've obviously got a bit of summit on them.
They've got a bit of summit just to make them a little bit special. They're not just your ordinary jeans. I mean, the smiley has a mouth that's slightly wonky like that, but it is slightly messing with my head that it is slightly wonky.
It's because you're a perfectionist.
Oh, but I'm going to have to leave it like that, aren't I?
Yeah.
Come on, put it in the lamp. Last but not least, top coat.
Oh, I'm loving this.
It's lovely, isn't it?
Yeah, it looks really nice.
But nice.
That is a bit gorgeous.
Pop me that in the lamp. So we're going to finish off with some cuticle oil. So there we are, first nail down to match the KIRSTY MEAKIN by MRGN collection.
That is gorgeous.
It's cute, isn't it?
Yeah, I love that.
I want you to comment below and tell me whether you think it's worth using this as the guide. You know, is it worth using the little sticker as a guide? Or would you just freehand it? Would you like the guide or would you just go for it? You know. I'd like to know that if you find it useful. Hopefully you do. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook and Instagram. Everything that I've used today will be listed below. We'll list the range as well. We'll put the link to the KIRSTY MEAKIN clothing range below. And yeah.
So if you want to see where we've had the inspo from.
I know, because we've not shown you any pictures, have we? So if you want to see, then check it out. And I'll see you in the next video. Ta-da, duck! Bye!